Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie Brinkerhoff with Hair and Makeup by Steph, and I'm here with Kenra Professional. And today I'm going to be walking you guys through a deconstructed chignon. So this style is very popular right now, so I wanted to walk you through my process of how I would approach this. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so as you can see, we just have some loose beachy waves in here. I'm gonna go in with some of the Kenra Spray Clay 15, just for a little bit more texture and bulk through here. The more texture that you have in the hair to begin with, the easier it's going to be to create the chignon. I'm just working this through with my fingers. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the crown in the back. So I'm going to get the sides sectioned out for now. Okay, so just both sides from the ears forward. And then I'm just going to focus on the crown section. So I'm kind of working this in towards the center with my fingers. Okay, and starting right at the ear on both sides, I'm going to create two twists. So there's going to be a twist going this way and then a twist going this way. And you want this to sit pretty low. So her occipital bone is like right in here. So you want it to be right in that area. So you don't want to go up too high. Okay, so I'm just picking up the hair right behind her ear and just softly getting that twisted in towards the center. Okay, and then I'll get that bobby pinned. And then I'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, I'm just deconstructing the crown a little bit. And then we can move on to the base. Okay, so with all of this hair down here, I'm going to get this now in a low ponytail. So just right here in the center, right below those two twists. And then I'm going to slide this elastic down a little bit and I'm going to flip this inside out. So I'm going to get my fingers through here in the center, just like this, and pull this through. Okay, so just like that, and then I'm going to pull that tight. Okay, so now I'm going to add some more texture and product to these ends. I want all of this to sort of work together as one section because I'm going to twist it up like this. So I'm gonna do some back combing in here to kind of get this all working together as one piece, and then add some product as well. So I'm going in with a little bit of the Volume Spray 25. And notice as well that I'm doing my back combing on this side rather than going underneath, because once I flip this over, this is all the hair that's going to be seen. So I want to keep this a little bit smoother if possible. Okay, and I'm just kind of fanning this out a little bit, adding some more of the spray clay. Okay, and I'm going to loosely get this twisted. Before I get anything pinned, I'm just checking this hair under here to see how it's looking. So it's looking a little bit frizzy. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more product underneath there and kind of brush it a little bit. I just wanna make sure the texture is looking how I want it to before I get it pinned. It's just gonna be a lot easier to control all of that frizz right now rather than after the fact. Okay, so I'm gonna check one more time. So that's feeling a little bit better to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this pinned. So I'm essentially just pulling this elastic tight, gathering all of the hair together and looping this up, and it's going to get pinned right underneath these two twists. And depending on how long their hair is, will determine how tight you have to wrap it. So her hair's not super, super long. If it was a lot longer, I'd be wrapping really, really tight. But you definitely don't want to do it too loose so it doesn't end up looking like too draped. Okay, so I'm just gonna hold that there for a second and just really deconstruct this a little bit. Just messing this up. And I'll get the center pinned first, and then I can go through and spread out the sides and get those pinned. Okay, and you also want to make sure that it's not too flat this way. So I'm going to pull on some pieces to give it a little bit more volume through here. Okay, and then I can just start wrapping these sides and getting those pinned as well. Okay, so before I move on, I'm just gonna detail a little bit more, give it a little bit more texture, check the balance, make sure everything's even. Okay, once we have that secure, all we have to do is just add in our sides. So I'm gonna get some more of the spray clay worked through here. And I'm just kind of fanning these out with my fingers a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna leave a couple of these pieces out just to detail around her face. And this is going to just get softly twisted. And you can either go on top of the twist that you already created, or you can go underneath. It kind of just depends on their face shape and how their hair is laying. Hers is definitely wanting to go a little bit more on top. So I can just get that bobby pinned. And then I can just get these ends tucked and hidden. If the sides are a lot longer, sometimes what I'll end up doing is twisting across and then taking the ends and twisting back the other way. So hers were short enough that I could just hide them. Okay, and then I'm actually going to pull my fingers through here just to tuck these ends through to hide them a little bit better. So just poking my fingers, pulling that through. Okay, and then I'm just going back in with my 25 to kind of detail all of this. Okay, and then the last thing I need to do is just detail the sides a little bit. So I'm just gonna turn her towards the mirror and kind of use the mirror to shape these pieces around her face, and then we'll be good to go.